evening, Canterbury. Welcome to NewsMakers, where we debate the week's big talking points. It's a pleasure to introduce our esteemed panel, the Managing Director of Chambers PR, Tracey Chambers, from the Press, Senior Writer Martin van Beynen, and Port Hills MP, Labour frontbencher Ruth Dyson. Thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
The government is trumpeting its go-get-'em law changes designed to crack down on the worst excesses of the boy racer culture. Of course, Christchurch has been top of mind as this legislation has passed through the House. And under the new law, if you clock up 3 street racer offences within 4 years, your car can be crushed by court order. Will this new law serve as a potent psychological blow? Tracey.
I don't think it will. I think that perhaps we need to go back a step and look at the age that we're letting them have their licences and the cars before they're actually sold and the modification of the vehicles. I think 3 offences in 4 years is very generous. I'm probably at the extreme where I think 1 offence where you could put someone's life at danger, lose your car, crushed, and you have to watch.
Channeling your inner boy racer thoughts, Martin, would this law change make you think twice?
Well, my take on this, Mike, is that I actually hate to see a good car crushed, especially when the police are short of cars. I think they have to get rid. They're about 300 cars short or something like that. So why don't they just take the cars off the boy racers and give them to the police? But in terms of the psychological message, I think it is quite powerful. It does give me some comfort as a normal citizen, and. Yeah, I would hope that they might take this on board. Although if I was a boy racer, I'd be thinking, two offences, I better use my old car the 3rd time.
Ruth, it would appear to some that Labour has been all over the shop on this issue, because as recently as 6-7 days ago, I heard your Law and Order Sheriff Clayton Cosgrove in the media saying this crushing provision is a hoax. Yet finally, Labour supported it. Why so?
No, we've actually been consistent all the way through. The problem is that the message about crushing cars has been diluted by the government as this has gone through Parliament. What we heard during the final stages was actually that anything of value was going to be removed from the car before it was crushed. So the whole idea of seeing your own car, the love of your life, roll up and get stomped, which was the message that overwhelmingly the public supported, was just absolutely lost. There won't be much left of a car. They might do the steering wheel in terms of what they're actually going to do. We supported the legislation because we oppose the antics of boy racers. They cause chaos in our city. They're dangerous, they're noisy, they're intimidating. We want to do everything we can to stop them. But unfortunately, I don't think this law is going to work. I'm hanging out for the National Party to do what they railed against Labour not doing, and that is lowering the decibel rating. That's what they said they'd do. And we've had 2 bills passed already, neither of which address that problem, and that is one of noise.
Although, isn't that in a future transport bill?
It may well be. We haven't seen it yet.
All right. Then again, they'll all say, well, you had 9 years to get this sorted.
That's right. Well, I want to see them deliver. If they think that's the answer, let's do it. I have to say the submissions in Christchurch were very powerful. All the members of Parliament who spoke about the Select Committee process said that our submissions really moved them to say this is a big problem, we want to address it. That's a good thing for Parliament to hear.
To what extent, Tracey, do you think the boy racer problem is media fuelled? Because you'll hear a lot of these car enthusiasts say it's the media that whip this up, that, you know, we're not really the big bad bogey we made out to be. From a PR perspective, how do you see it?
Well, I think they probably need some help. I'm not sure I'd take them on. I have an office, my husband and I have an office in Hereford Street, on the corner of Hereford and Fitzgerald Avenues, and I think the media, frankly, are tame when it comes to boy racers.
You're on their firing line, aren't you?
We're in their firing line, and every Monday morning we have to clean up broken bottles. There's vomit. I won't even go into what else there is in front of our building. We're really lucky in some ways, though, because we've got the City Mission down from us, and people who stay at the City Mission look after our building for us. They're fantastic. And you watch the boy racers pull up, and, you know, for a while there, people thought our building was a whorehouse. Now, I'm sure there's lots of jokes we could make about PR and all of that, but the problem was they just stop, and they're dangerous. They throw glass out the windows. Now, quite often, my children come with me into work at the weekends, or for whatever reason, and you're having to clean up glass. It's just dumb.
All right. Well, we'll see if these changes have their desired effect in the coming months, no doubt. One other political issue before we go to the break that has attracted quite a bit of media attention concerns this shake-up to admin services in public health. Supposedly, we're going to see 500 positions cut and $700 million rediverted to frontline services over the next 5 years. This is all good stuff, surely, Ruth?
If the money is saved and it does go to frontline services, that would be fantastic. That's not the response I've had from the Minister of Health, actually. What he's done is set up an entirely new bureaucracy within the Ministry of Health. I don't know why you need to set up a big new bureaucracy to manage existing bureaucrats. To me, that's just a very expensive waste of time. I would love to see more frontline services in health. We're having a lot of people in Canterbury having their home help cut. They might get just 1 or 2 hours a week. That's the difference between them staying safely in their home or ending up in a rest home where they don't want to live. I specifically asked the Minister of Health if this would mean they'd keep their home help services, and he said no. So what is the average punter going to see? Not an increase in health services, and we lose hundreds of jobs.
Perhaps you'd be better having a chat to your Labour mate Alistair Davis, who got voted out.
Alistair James,
who got voted out of the last Health Board elections, only to be reappointed by the Labour government.
Don't you worry, I've certainly raised this matter directly with Alistair.
Martin, what do you make of it? And I think Ruth raises an interesting point about the creation of this new bureaucracy. Do you understand the merits in this?
Well, look, as a cynical hack, I would say it takes another bureaucracy to cut a bureaucracy, or if you cut a bureaucracy, you create another one. So I'm with Ruth on that one. Yeah, I can't see it, honestly, making a hell of a lot of difference. And, I mean, we'll maybe in 2 years' time we'll be able to say that more money's gone to frontline health services. But, I mean, how do you work these things out? You know, so... Looks good, and bureaucracies are always fair game as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. But at the end of the day, how would we know that it's been effective?
What do you make of it, Tracey?
I actually think it's a good move. I've done a lot of work in the health sector. I think it's a step in the right direction because what we've got at the moment isn't working. The thing that concerns me most about it is the definition of administration. So define administration, and I think there are two other points. One of them is that there needs, as a society, we need to be brave enough to have the discussion about the rationalisation of health services, who we're going to treat, to what point, and how people exit this world to a large degree. And it's a difficult conversation, but at some point we're going to have to make it. The second point I would make is that I think there's empire building in the health sector. There are massive contracts up. There is the ability to spin it, and that's coming from a spin doctor. I think it's a step in the right direction, but I agree with Ruth. I want to see evidence that the money goes back to the front line.
All right, coming up, a chinwag with gangland and the future of our electoral system. Do stay with us.